Hello and welcome back to the Kind of Athletic Podcast. We are on episode 26.
Heck
My
yeah,
name is Kellen.
I'm Sam.
And we're going to talk about quite a bit. We got a few sports to kind of go over. We're going to go over, obviously, baseball's kind of gotten going. NASCAR playoffs, we're kind of a week
Round
behind.
of 8 now.
Yeah,
so,
we're 2 weeks. We're going to cover a little bit.
Phil was a big boy and went to a conference.
Yeah, he went to a conference, and so we had to
Smart
kind
guy.
of adjust. We'll talk about the Seahawks falling apart, and we'll talk
Pretty
about
much.
a little bit of the Pacific Northwest college football. We got
Yep.
the UW, Wazoo, Boise State, and Oregon
did
with some
something crazy.
big games.
Yeah.
But right away, we're going to get into NASCAR. We do have Phil back right into baseball. We are actually watching the Yankees game live. And obviously, we have our friend Nick, who is a huge Yankees fan. So he's going to be excited to kind of talk and be able to watch the game at the same time. So Nick is here. That we are done with kind of the playoffs.
The coldest team in all of the NFL.
The Seahawks, man. So they started off, and again, we've talked about this before. 3-0 to start the year, played kind of a bunch
They
of
won the
nobodies.
games they needed to win.
100%.
But they didn't win convincingly, which we saw. But
Yeah.
we were like, maybe. Like, if the defense can... I have a stat that I'll read later.
Sure.
But...
And again, like you said, that was my biggest thing. Convincingly,
Yeah.
you beat the Broncos 26-6 against Bo Nix's first
26
game
to
ever.
20.
Sorry,
you're good,
26
you're
to
good.
20.
Yeah.
That's right. The Patriots you beat in overtime by 3.
Yeah, you're playing Bo Nix and Jacoby Brissett, which,
and I
like
get
you
the
said,
travel.
you would have won that. Broncos would have won with
Yeah.
any other quarterback.
I
I'm
agree,
pretty sure.
100%.
So,
If they had like Joe Flacco, they
even
win.
Bo Nix now.
I probably agree.
So-
Patriots, you beat them in overtime. I get the travel, but it's like no excuse. The
We've
Patriots
won there
are very
before,
good.
so it's not like it's. They just should have
100%.
won by a lot more.
Yeah, they should have. It was
Dolphins had a
Dolphins didn't have
high
a
school
quarterback, and so 24-3 is convincing, but it's like, congratulations,
the
you beat
ball when
Skylar
you
Thompson.
have-
Tell me where he went to college. I don't know.
Tim Boyle, baby.
Yeah, and Tim Boyle. Lions was a great game. I think the Seahawks
Yeah.
missed a lot of opportunities. Obviously, like DK's fumble.
Their offense was there. It just wasn't.
But you can't give up
quite
42.
enough. No, their defense was not.
And
there.
obviously, the Seahawks did just make a big trade for, I don't even call it a big
Is it
trade, for a
defensive tackle,
defensive tackle
right?
for from the Jaguars, Robertson
Harris.
I think is what it is.
Okay.
He's a pretty good D tackle. He's not had a good year, but the Jaguars literally don't know how to play football right now. So
We need something. Our run defense has been atrocious.
And
so
it's for a 6th-round pick, it can't be that bad. Is that a 3rd run for the Yankees? Oh my goodness, they're coming apart. Who's pitching right now? Canelano. I don't know who that is, but he is falling apart. And then the 49ers. So we'll get into the Giants. Giants outcoached us.
Yeah,
we should have won that game. Mike McDonald accepted it. The team played decent. I don't think they played very great.
No, they didn't play their best ball, but Daniel Jones also wasn't
Jones is
bad.
cooking.
He's getting back to where like
What you
good Daniel
kinda,
Jones
yeah, you
was,
kinda
not
think
this
he was.
injured, horrible Daniel Jones we've
and they
seen in
did
a couple
lose
of years. So
last night, the Giants. I don't know what his stat line was, but he's been a lot better.
Yeah.
And then you get into this week, huge rivalry game. I think the
a lot on
49ers
the line,
have
really. Not even like playoff
Yeah.
content, but like just season outlook.
Yeah. And
I
I
think is we really wanted this like a statement win to be like, oh no, we didn't just lose 2 really bad games we could have won.
I
But
agree.
we just kind of continued the trend. That's the thing I wanted to say earlier is when we've held opponents to 20 or less points, we've won every game. But
Oh,
last 3, we've given up 20 or more and we've lost.
So yeah,
Since-
this was the kind of the interesting thing I had. Where did I see this? I had this up earlier, but now it's gone. I want to say, nope, it's not the last 4. I wanted to see the last games we played.
Against the 49ers.
Yeah, because I want
Yeah.
to say we've lost like the last 6 in a row now. Which isn't shocking because the 49ers are a very, very good football team.
They've been the team to beat in the NFC the past
100%. So
4
here it is.
years.
Yeah. So, last 6 now, as of now. So 10-10 was just the one we just had. So they've won 36-24, which was last game, 28-16, 31-13, 41-23, 21-13, 27-7, and then the Seahawks had
21-13 is really the only game that we were in. From a point
about
outlook.
100%. Yeah, from scores. And that was the thing I was going to say about this game is, to me, watching this game, the stats looked better than they played. So I think which was opposite of a lot of games we've seen is where the Seahawks have won, stats didn't look very good. You know, they were like DK had 100 yards, but no one else had anything. This game, like Geno threw for 312 yards, had 2 picks. Kenneth Walker doesn't know how to run a football anymore. But like we had 300.
It was our first half that we lost.
Yeah, and it was 312 yards in receiving. So like there was a lot of yards. But we like, to me, I look at that and I'm like,
What happened?
We didn't look, like, to me, like, the game doesn't like, to me, like, we didn't look that good.
No, well, it's because of our first half. We could not
100%.
get anything going. We had a field goal.
Yeah.
And
It was
then
brutal.
third quarter, it was good. I mean, we did what we needed to do. We put up 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Really, when I watched the game, I turned it on. I think it was about halftime.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I turned it on when the kickoff return. That was
yeah.
literally turned it on as
Yep.
he was doing the kick return, which ignited the whole stadium.
Yeah. It's huge.
We had so much momentum.
Mm-hmm.
But what really blew it was when Geno threw that touchdown to DK that got called back. If they're not going to necessarily win the game, but
It does change
that
momentum a lot.
happens, they have a good chance to get the ball back.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, you still have to go on the field, score. Yeah, that's a big ask.
100%. No, I'm with you.
But if you don't get that, and then they did not scoring, but there was like a minute left on the clock. I mean, you had to stop them literally every play, and then we give up like a 76-yard rush, and then use check runs it in. But I'm like, what do you? What do you expect?
It was 3 turnovers. 3 turnovers. We had 9 penalties, which isn't. I mean, they had 5 penalties, not bad. First downs, we beat them. You know, total plays, we had 12 more.
Yeah,
total yards, we had about 130 less.
The offense did enough.
They were fine.
But the defense had
gave
them
is so
no help
weird for McDonald or anything. Especially, excuse me, when going into the season, the front 7 was the question mark, and they've been bad.
Been
But
horrible.
The secondary, everyone's like, yeah, we'll be fine. Debo Samuels, first game back, 102 yards, 3 receptions, 102 yards. 3 receptions, 102 yards. Let me repeat that.
30
3
yards.
of them, not 30.
A catch,
he
pretty
had
much.
30 yards a catch.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Debo Samuel's a stud. He's very, very, very good. There's a reason they paid him. There's a reason he held out. There's blah, 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 blah. But you can't, when you have Witherspoon, you have a good secondary.
They've also been a little hurt. I think
They have
Reek
been
is
banged
out.
up. I think who?
Tariq Woolen.
Yeah, he is out.
And then
I don't know
think
if Love
another
is-
guy, is it Artie Burns? Might be thinking too far back now.
I don't know if it's Love. I don't remember who's been back. But still, again, like Witherspoon's been there.
Yeah.
And he should be matching up with Samuel. But it's just, the team has not glued. Again, I think going into the season, I want to say I predicted them 3rd in the division. Because I was like, hey, new coaching staff. There's a lot of new pieces. There's a lot of new things going on. I think we got really excited at 3-0. We were like, holy
Well, I think
smokes.
the one thing that you can say of these, even though we lost these last 3 games, our offense, besides the turnovers, I mean, that's going to happen anyways.
Sure.
But they've looked really good.
They have not looked bad.
They have a
Yeah.
lot to build on,
This
which is
was
exciting.
definitely-
The defense doesn't. That's
The
what's
defense needs
scary.
a lot of
There's not like any real positives you can take away, which is tough because
Yeah, no, I
you
agree.
need defense to win. So it's like, yes, we have a decent offense. They're gonna score points, but
Yeah.
if you don't stop people from scoring, you're not gonna win.
100%. And
So-
it gets even more interesting because next year, you probably have a new quarterback. Geno's a free agent.
He might get a 1-year deal. I mean, it
I don't
honestly
think
just
he- but
depends on how.
I don't think he'll sign a 1-year deal. And I don't think the Seahawks will want to
Yeah.
give. The Seahawks are not in a position where it's like the Kirk
Honestly,
Cousins, where it's like
I don't feel
plug
like
and
they
play a
should.
quarterback. I wouldn't.
I think they should run Hal if they don't draft somebody.
I think you draft someone and still
But-
run Hal. That's how I think you do it, and let the rookie
and have a
kinda get some-
quarterback battle,
Yeah.
honestly.
But I think
Geno, he's leading in yards when last I checked, but
I think he's dropped. I think he's now like 5th or something. But he's
don't
up there.
see it.
I don't think
He's a great filler quarterback, but I just
He is
don't
first
think
still,
he's
1700. Holy
I don't
smokes.
think he's the guy.
But I've said this for a while now. Geno Smith, and I've kind of said it like Kirk Cousins, but I think Kirk Cousins is far better
I think
than
he's
Geno
way
Smith.
better.
But Kirk Cousins he's almost a guarantee to get you to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it's a question mark. Geno Smith is like a question mark to get you to the playoffs.
Yeah.
He
That's
is
what's-
good, but you don't know how good he is. Like Geno Smith, he can't run as much. He's not as mobile. He's starting to throw a lot more picks lately.
Yeah.
He
was like when he first came, he was just extremely accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, he was getting
when
the
you
job
still had
done.
Pete Carroll though, which I
Yeah.
think is obviously
I
Carroll's
feel like they
an
meshed
awesome coach,
very
but
well.
But Pete Carroll to me, like he can build a system around it. Like he could literally name the worst quarterback, Jamarcus Russell. Pete Carroll could probably make him a superstar. Like Pete Carroll does such a good job of building, whether it's college, pros, whatever. He's proven it everywhere. He can build a really good system around a quarterback and not have a system where he needs the right quarterback. And I think that's a big thing. And obviously, again, you have a 32, 33-year-old rookie coach. Like, he's not going to win the Super Bowl. Like, that'd be incredible if he did, but he's not going to. My biggest question for you, wide receivers have all been super mediocre this year, whatever. Is Kenneth Walker the guy?
He should be.
He has been.
He should be.
Has had, one
But-
good game this year, I think, where he had over 100 yards, and he's been poops.
I just don't. The problem is, I don't think
game-
Zach Charbonnet is
game
any
one.
better. I think he's a very good second running back. I don't think he can be your starter.
I agree.
That's what's tough.
So this is his stat line. So I know he missed a couple games.
Yeah.
First game, he had 103 yards, 20 carries, 5 yards a carry. That's not bad. Against Detroit, he had 12 carries for 80 yards, 6 yards a carry, 7 yards a carry.
Like 4 touchdowns.
And then he has fallen apart. Against San Francisco and New York, he had 19 yards against
New
York.
Rough. He also did have some receiving yards against New York, so don't count that out.
But again, I agree with you.
Straight rushing stats.
I want rushing. I need a running back. And I agree with you. He's versatile.
Yeah.
And then against the 49ers, 32 yards. Obviously, he's an injury-prone guy. But if someone was to be like, hey, here's a 5th round pick.
I wouldn't take it. Not yet.
Okay. That's fair. I don't know. I mean, yes, he is only 23. He's super young. But last year, when he's been healthy, he's been okay. Obviously, the offensive line is about as good as this
all-pro caliber type running back. That's why I wouldn't be willing to trade him for that low yet.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. I mean,
he's a second round pick.
That's kind of how I feel about him in general. Mm-hmm. And if we traded him, I like Zach Charbonnet. I think he's a solid second back, but I wouldn't want to see him start.
I think
that's what's tough. If we had a better option, I might be open to it.
And I think my question more is like, trade him to bring in someone. No, obviously you're not going to get Christian McCaffrey or whatever, but like to try someone else, to get a rookie to do whatever else. I don't know. But I agree. I think he's 23. The offensive line he's had his whole career has been about as good as this jersey behind me, or that one, which is even worse. We'll get into that in a second. But but like he does get injured a lot.
Yeah,
he's not. I would not say he's been good this year. He has 234 rushing yards this whole year. Yes, it is 31st, so he's technically a starting running back. But 230 in 4 games, that's not very good.
No,
and so. It's hard, and then obviously people will look at it and be like, "Oh, but he has 5 touchdowns. That's tied for 5th." Yeah, when you run 2 yards, it's not really that. Like, I get it, you got to get in, but
it was impressive, but it's still. Yeah, we were running the ball in that situation.
Exactly,
it would have been Zach Charbonnet. Well, if
it was Pete Carroll, we might have passed.
Why?
So I just find it interesting. Obviously, the division now is tied all the way
3-3.
Up and down the board.
It's 3-3 us, San Francisco, and 2-3 the Cardinals, and then 1-4 with the Rams.
So obviously the Rams had a bye. Cardinals did not look good. Cardinals are a weird team in our division right now. They literally can. They beat
blow people out of the
Lions. They blew out the Rams, and then
the 49ers.
It was the 49ers and the Rams they beat, and then they've lost everyone else. Weird team. I think I'm still scared of them. I mean, again,
they're just not proven enough.
Well, but still, and I agree with you. 2-4 though in that division is not. You're not out of it.
Oh no, I mean, they're sorry. Yes, I would still be worried about that team. Yeah, I would not.
And the Rams are 1-4.
And like you said this last week, they're always going to take the game.
100%.
They just always will.
They do every year.
It's so frustrating, but they always do.
And then of course the Rams are just going to get healthy. And there's a bunch of teams like that, like the Rams, the Bengals, the Jaguars. I mean, the Browns. No one really thought that these teams would be that bad. We're not going to talk about the Browns.
Yeah, but we're going to say I don't think the Browns are coming back.
But I don't think but I'm saying I don't think people thought they would be 1-5.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Deshaun Watson is a very talented quarterback. He
doesn't know how to throw a football.
He can't play anymore. So
that's kind of my point.
Good thing his contract's guaranteed.
That there's teams that have surprised people. And I think a lot of the divisions are closer than you think. I mean, our division is obviously,
tight.
Couple games out. The NFC North is like tied, basically. Every team's 4-2, 4-1, 5-0. Right. So Arizona's still a scary team. They are very talented. They're going to be good. I think they're going to be really good next year. The 49ers are still banged up. They're getting healthy. I think McCaffrey's supposed to be back again.
Well, Jordan Mason, they haven't really skipped a beat. He was the leading rusher.
I think that there obviously is a difference, but yes, he has filled in extremely well.
Yeah, but he had 650 yards or something.
Yeah. So but I think they get McCaffrey back, and I don't think McCaffrey will play full time.
It's a dual threat too. If Mason's healthy, because I know he got hurt his shoulder, but like him and McCaffrey, that makes that offense even better, which is 100%. Just ridiculous because it's already super good.
And I think they'll bring McCaffrey back because
he's a receiving back, so
they
it makes
play the Chiefs too next weekend, which is a huge game. And again, just kind of looking forward, obviously the Seahawks have a rough couple games coming up. They go to Atlanta. That's brutal. Atlanta's kind of turned. I mean, Atlanta started, I think, 0-2. Now they're 4-2. They've kind of turned on. Kirk Cousins is starting to look really good. The Bills come here.
Chains.
The Bills come here, which I believe they're playing right now against the Jets. They were up 7-3 last I looked.
I can look.
Then the Rams come here, right? And it's like, okay, the Rams.
10-7 Jets.
You would think. Oh, the rest scored. And then you would think the Rams by then should be kind of healthier.
If they have one receiver back, I think they win. Between Cooper Kupp and Puka.
I think Puka's supposed to be back this week.
Okay.
It's either this week or next week.
I would honestly, if our defense hasn't showed any progress.
And again, you have a lot to prove against a good Atlanta offense and Josh Allen is literally the Bills offense because I can't name anyone else, but
Gabe Davis, I think.
There you go. But then you come off the bye and you say, hey, welcome to Santa Clara. Good luck. And again, you would think they're going to be healthy by then. Then you go to Arizona comes here. Then you go to New York, the Jets. That's a tough.
It's just not a great road match.
The
team's not fantastic, Stadium. But it's just the road that I don't like.
Then you go to Arizona, Green Bay, and Minnesota come here, and then you go to the Bears. It's a brutal schedule. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think these next 3 games will determine their season. If they can sneak a 2-1,
2 wins out of it, that is huge.
I think if they can go 2-1, then you're like,
they have a chance.
You're a wild card caliber
like
team.
Like a 9-8.
But if they go 1-2,
because it's 17 games now.
17 or 18. I don't know. It keeps changing. Dude, these pitchers for the Cleveland Guardians need to learn how to throw it to the catcher. That's like their 5th pass.
They've had a lot. It's been rough.
But I think they have to go 2-1 in these next 3 games. If they go 1-2 or 0-3, season's over. Obviously, 0-3, they're definitely over.
Yeah.
But that is the Seahawks. They are, again, it's hard because I think everyone just got so excited. And I think in our heart, at least in my heart, I knew that that's like, hey, if they can sneak the playoffs, that's a successful year.
It'd be fun. I think they're a year out at least.
Minimum.
But I would hope for less.
Thanks for listening to the Kind of Athletic podcast. Please like and subscribe to all our social media platforms and make sure to come back to hear more from the Kind of Athletic podcast.